Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and you don't know who I am, my name is Cara. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel, and before we start today, I just want to make a quick little announcement that currently Australia is experiencing a really horrible bushfire. If you are either from Australia or from overseas, there are so many ways you can help. I will leave links in the description below of where you can donate to help our Australian firefighters. But I just wanted to add this little message before I got into the video, because it is so important that we are helping out our emergency services right now, because Australia is in basically an emergency state. So anything you can do to help is greatly appreciated. But let's get into the video. Originally, I had filmed a wrap-up of all the books I had read last year, and I read 35 books, but when I went to edit that video, it just didn't flow that well. So I'm going to share with you all my top books of 2019. Most people do a top 5, but I couldn't choose and narrow it down, so I've chosen 7. But I really loved all these books. I have chosen books that are either I loved the story and I just couldn't put them down, or there was just something about them that drew me in. Now, some of these are part of series, but most of them are standalone books. The first book is Photo Queens by Ashrid Schultz, and these are in no order as well. These are just my top books of the year. And we follow a girl called Kiralee who is living in a town and country called Quadra, and basically there are 4 queens who overrule the 4 different quadrants of this country. Now, one day all the queens are found dead, and Kiralee goes on a journey to find out what's happened, why this has happened, who the killer is. She kind of goes on this adventure with a boy called Varyn, and together they discover all the secrets and lies and plans and the manipulation that's gone through to have all the queens murdered. And this was a really great novel. When it started, I wasn't sure how it was going to end, but by the end I had no idea. Like, it was a really great plot twist, and I like plot twists that I don't expect, and I really enjoyed the plot twist in this one. And Ashrid has a new book coming out. I think it's in March or late February, but I really enjoyed this, and for a debut novel I thought it was a really great read. The next one is by an author who I absolutely love her books, and that is What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. This is a story about Arthur and Ben, and they meet in a post office, and it really just connects their story from there. So Adam is in New York for an internship for the summer, and he meets Ben in the post office, and he just sees Ben in this post office, and they have a moment, and then he goes on a journey to try and find him again, and he puts these posters around saying, "Are you the boy from the post office? Want to give us a second chance?" with his number. And it is so beautiful. It's a story of how they find each other, how they can connect to each other, and I really enjoy the writing style of Becky. I have really loved the Love, Simon series, and I really want to read the Upside of Unrequited Love. The Upside of Unrequited, I think that's how you say it. But she also has another book coming out as well. But I just loved how it's this tale of how social media and the way the world is these days, it helped them come back together. And they were endgame, but if you know how this story ends, I was so frustrated with this story. I'm the kind of person who needs a happy ending, and when it doesn't happen, I get so frustrated. So if you've read this book, please tell me if you were frustrated as I was, because I was so mad. The next one is an Oz YA book, and that is How It Feels to Float by Helena Fox. This story, I honestly felt like I was reading a story of myself. So we're reading a story about a girl called Biz, and it is a tale of how she is learning to deal with the death of her father. Her father passed away quite a few months ago when we are reading the story of Biz, and it's how she's going through her life and going on this journey of growing up, leaving high school, and she still has all this grief in the back of her head about her dad. Now, if you don't know already, I had lost my dad 4 years ago to cancer, and in the story, Biz is in the same situation. She has little sisters, I think it was sisters, I can't remember, but like, you know, her dad has died. She's left with her mum and her twin siblings, and it is such an incredible book. I could not put this down. I have bawled my eyes throughout this book. It was really lovely to read a book where I really connected with the character, and I could see myself literally on the pages. And if you've lost anyone or you've experienced grief before, this book is incredible. Like, I recommend this book to everyone now because it flows so well, and it was just an absolute beautiful read. So this is definitely one to add to your TBR for 2020 if you haven't heard of it yet. The next one is one that basically every single person on Bookstagram and BookTube has talked about, and that is A Curse of Dark and Lonely by Bridget Camara. This is look at that shine. This is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and we follow a girl called Harper, and she is our like Belle character, and we also follow Ren, who is our Beast character. Now, this was so good. If you don't know already, Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie. Belle is my favorite Disney character, and Harper was just the best like rendition of Belle ever. Best rendition of Belle ever. She has cerebral palsy, and the way that she shows that even though she's got this disability, she's not letting it hold her back, and everything she does, she still kills it. And her and Ren's relationship is just, and I really love the secondary character Gray, who is kind of like Ren's like assistant, look, you know, like his helper, and the way he really helps Harper to come into this world and be accepted by the people. Oh, it was so good. And if you don't know, there is a sequel coming called A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and it's out in like 3 weeks, and I just want it so bad, and I can't wait. I can't wait to read it because it landed on a cliffhanger, and I just need to know more. But seriously, I feel like every single dog and their bone has talked about this book because it's that good. It's honestly that good. The next one is actually a arc, so I don't have the final copy of it, but that is The Secret Runners of New York by Matthew Riley. That, of course, there is the finished cover. Now, I can't remember the girl's main name, Sky. So Sky and her brother moved to New York, and it's kind of like, the way it's set is kind of like Gossip Girl meets Maze Runner. Now basically, Sky and her twin brother moved to a New York elite high school, and they are introduced to like the popular kids. Now Sky's brother goes out most nights and she has no idea what he is doing, and basically she finds out that he's found a portal to the future, and they see that the apocalypse is coming, and it's just like how they can get people to believe in they've been to the future, what they can do in order to stop this coming. Can they even do anything to stop it coming? Can they warn people? Oh, I could not put this book down. It was amazing. I wish there was a sequel to this. It was, the way it was visually described was, I could honestly see it. Now, I read this book before I went to New York, but even just looking through it again, like the way the Central Park was described, that the Empire State Building was described by in the apocalypse, all broken down and greenery growing through it and mold everywhere and moss. It was so descriptive and beautiful. I have not read any of Matthew Riley's books, but after reading this, I'm so intrigued to read some of his other work. But this book is so good. I have a review of this up on my channel as well. So good, so good. The next one is another debut novel, and that is The Kiss Quoten by Helen Hoeing. So this is obviously not the normal cover, the international one. That is a blue one. This is the Australian cover, and this is the story of Stella and Michael. Stella has Asperger's, and she wants to find someone who can help her be better at sex and having a relationship and having a boyfriend. And she meets Michael, who is basically an escort, and she pays him to have lessons really in sex and kissing, and holy shit, this book was amazing. I am not one to read adult fiction, but this book, I could not put this book down. It was so hot, it was so sexy, the way it was described, I loved it. And then in the bride test, when Stella and Michael were introduced in it as well, I just loved it. I couldn't get enough, honestly. It was so good. Like, this makes me want to read adult fiction more because it was a hot one, honestly. It was one of those reads where it was like, I'm done, like I need a minute to calm down, because that's honestly some of the scenes I was like, I need to calm down, I need to calm down. So the last book in my top books of 2019 is Akane by Lynette Noni. This is the first book in the Madoran Chronicles, and I don't know why I waited so long to read this series. I've had this for so long. I think I got this at the start of 2019, and everyone had told me to read it and I just hadn't got to it yet. And this, we follow a girl called Alex, and her parents are international explorers, and she is taken to a school where her parents believe she's going to be given the best education, but really is a portal to a school. And she is now at, what is the school name? I can't think. Akane Academy, and it's a school full of magic and power and wonders, and Alex discovers she has powers, and it's just, the story is wonderful, and Jordan and Bear are like my favorite characters. I'm up to Dracora, which is the 3rd book in the series, but honestly, this was just, it's a really great read for someone who loves fantasy, but a really easy fantasy read. There is world building, but it's not the kind of thing where you're like, where am I right now? What planet are we on? Where are we at? Because it just flows really well. And honestly, like everyone told me, if you've not read the Majoran Chronicles series, pick it up because it's so good. Lynette Noni's writing is amazing. She's an Australian author. We need to support Aussie authors. She's the best. Read it now. So they are all my top books of 2019. As I said, I did film a wrap up of all the books I read. I read 35, but they're just some of the ones that really stood out as my favorites of the year. Let me know down in the comments down below what your favorite read of 2019 was, and also what your goal for 2020 is. This year, I'm gonna hope for 45. I'm gonna try and do 10 more. 40 is like my actual goal, but if I can reach 45, I'd be so happy. So let me know your 2020 reading goal down below, and I'll see you all next week with another video. Bye!